comments. There we go. A little snack time, not lunch hour, not our Hot Topics lunch hour, because we just did our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Hey, Naisha. Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Hey, Naisha. Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. Hey, Naisha. Let me turn that off. Having a quick little snack. Where is everyone watching from before we get into some of these hot topic stories? I just can't believe this Dawn Robinson story, but we're going to talk about it. Hey, Jeremy, what part of Brooklyn? Chicago, what's going on? Chicago, we got a couple of Chicago. Hold on, Chicago. Do I need to come to Chicago and do a show? Chicago? How many Chicagos were just in this chat? What is going on? Detroit, Boston, Bed-Stuy, Los Angeles. Hey, Arjun. Virginia, Texas, Atlanta. New Jersey, wow. Tennessee. Chicago came out. I was like, wait a minute, Chicago. That was a lot of people from Chicago. Let me find out. Chicago, we're trying. Please understand, but wow. I think that's the first time I've seen so many Chicagoans in the chat. Or at least when I asked this question. Wow. Shout out to Chicago. I need to come to Chicago. All right, come on now. We're trying. Look, we're trying. Okay, Atlanta. Sorry, y'all. I'm also waiting on delivery, so I might have to take a little bit of a step away to go get my delivery. The UK is in the building. If you went to Boston, you can probably do amazing in Chicago. I agree. My goodness, I had a good time in Boston. Shout out to everyone that was at the Boston show. But yeah, I didn't know about Chicago right now. I love Chicago, though. I've been to Chicago before. I like Chicago. Hey, Truth is Trouble, Atlanta. We had a great show in Atlanta. I have to come back to Atlanta. Belgium's in the house. I've been to Antwerp. I've been there before. Brussels, too. Okay. Chicago's in the build. Wait, Flipiana, you in Chicago, too? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to come to Chicago. Chicago is showing out. All right. Guys, don't forget to like the video. It's easy. It's free. I have a couple of hot topics that I wanted to talk about. This is a very casual live. It's not us in the studio. It's just us here. As I'm having a little bit of a snack, let me know what you're eating. I'm having a little Greek yogurt with some granola and kiwi. Okay, Flipiana, I didn't know you were in Chicago. New York City, what's going on? We are working on coming back to Atlanta. Atlanta showed up and showed out too, so I think we have more people in Atlanta than New York. I mean, our New York venue was smaller, but I think we have more people in Atlanta. DMV, what's going on? Is it morning there in New York? No, Arjun. It is the evening. It's about 5 p.m., a little bit after 5 p.m. I decided to come live just because there were a couple of stories that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to also give you a Wendy Williams update because there is. But let's first start off with some good news before we get to the bad news. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's bad news because she doesn't seem too unhappy about it. I want to say congratulations to Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump just announced that she is opening a hotel. Hey, Joe Mendoza, where you been? Did you move, Joe, to Tampa already? I know you were preparing for your move. Congratulations to Lisa Vanderpump. Let me just bring up the video. Shout out to our friends at Bravo Snark side. That was the first place that I saw it. Okay, here it is. So Lisa Vanderpump announced that she is opening a hotel. It makes complete sense. She has multiple restaurants. She's been in that business for a very long time. They also announced that they're about to start filming the new season of Vanderpump Rules. Can't say that I care, but that's me. I'm just bringing you the news, okay? All right, so this was the announcement. Hold on.
You know, holding it has been so difficult. I mean, I've seen my name in a lot of places, banners on television shows, but this is something totally different. I think this is a restaurateur's dream. It's iconic. I want to create beauty everywhere I go. We dream together and we dream big. And I think often our places are somewhat fantastical. It doesn't get any better than that. And so we are thrilled to announce the Vanderpump Hotel coming 2026.
Wow. The Vanderpump Hotel. It makes sense. She already has multiple restaurants. She's already moved her business to, well, some of her business to Las Vegas. So let me just get more deets on this. But that was the video that she had posted announcing it. Okay. According to our friends over at parade.com, they said Lisa Vanderpump may be 64 years old, but certainly isn't, and that certainly isn't stopping her. Despite opening new restaurants Wolf by Vanderpump and Pinky's by Vanderpump in recent months, her work isn't done yet. The Vanderpump Rules matriarch announced the opening of a brand new project on the Las Vegas Strip, a hotel amply titled the Vanderpump Hotel. The swanky new spot will take the place of the mostly defunct Cromwell Hotel, located next to the Flamingo Hotel. Oh, because you went to BravoCon. She's saying it will be open in 2026. So it won't be open in time for this year's BravoCon. But okay. Don't be surprised if they figure something out for next year's BravoCon over at her hotel. So this is going to replace the Cromwell Hotel, which is located next to the Flamingo Hotel across the street from the iconic Caesar's Palace. So that's really close to the BravoCon Convention Center. The Cromwell is currently home to Food Network star Giada de Laurentiis' restaurant, Giada, as well as Dre's Beach Club and Nightclub. I wonder if she's going to move one of her restaurants or open a new restaurant in this hotel. It's in Vegas, yes. Vanderpump said in a press release, our mission is to create something sumptuous with a unique atmosphere. And if you've seen, I saw her restaurant I've seen her restaurants in LA. Those are nice too, but her one in Vegas, I was like, okay, all right, Vanderpump, I see what you're doing. The project will be helmed in tandem with Vanderpump's partner, Nick Elaine, the same duo that put together the over-the-top fabulous decor and custom furniture for their past restaurant projects. Everything will be bespoke and created specifically for the location. Vanderpump already has 3 successful Las Vegas restaurants and bars. Vanderpump Cocktail Garden at the Caesar's Palace. I saw that when I went to go see Adele. Vanderpump a la Paris, Las Vegas. And isn't that where Garcelle's son works? Is that at that one? And her latest addition, Pinky by Vanderpump at Flamingo, Las Vegas. I didn't realize she had a 3rd restaurant there. Each have a unique decor theme and overall vibe. She does a really good job with creating the atmosphere at this location. Sorry, I'm adjusting here. So for those that are just joining us, we're just giving you some good news first. Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Vanderpump announced that she is opening the Vanderpump Hotel in Las Vegas. While the former Bravo star may have found her way into the pop culture zeitgeist thanks to her role on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and then later on Vanderpump Rules, her interests these days fall mainly in her work in the hospitality industry, aside from her Hulu series Vanderpump Villa, of course. As with her other projects, the Vanderpump Hotel will have a clear mark of Lisa Vanderpump's seal of approval. She'll even be hand selecting the amenities for the hotel guests. Nowhere else in the world can guests experience the Vanderpump Hotel, and we couldn't be more proud of it. Proud to debut it, said Sean McBurry, regional president of Caesars Entertainment. Congratulations to her, right? Congratulations to her. I think that's amazing. When I saw that, I was like, that's a big deal. Big deal. Another big deal. Congratulations to Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker. Their new play that they're producing that's starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal, Othello, had a top grossing week in Broadway history. It is the biggest debut. According to Deadline, it said Othello, now in previews at Broadway's Barrymore Theater and starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal, had a weekly gross last week of $2,818,296. That's amazing. Making the revival the top grossing 8 performance play in Broadway history. Yes. Y'all didn't know that Kandi and Todd were doing another play? I just saw their last play, The Wiz, which was amazing, on Broadway. Now they're producing this new revival of Othello, starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal. So they just had a record-breaking week of over $2.8 million. It is the biggest in Broadway history. The previous record holder was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which grossed $2,718,488. There we go. For the week ending December 31st of 2023. Harry Potter. It beat out Harry Potter. So shout out to Denzel Washington, Kandi, and Jake Gyllenhaal, and Todd. So she'll be able to pay that lawsuit off, the rental debt for Blaze. Just come on, I gotta give you the full story, right? I gotta give you the full story. We just reported on that. So congratulations to Kandi. Everyone is saying that she's going to get her EGOT. I could see that happening. I would love to go see Othello. I remember reading Othello in high school. I'm just wondering, will I be able to get tickets? Because it's not going to be a long performance. I would love to see Denzel Washington on Broadway. Outside of the movies, you know what I mean? And I'm hearing really, really, really great things. So congratulations to Kandi and Todd, and of course, Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal. Biggest week ever. So congratulations to all of them. Okay, where do I want to go next in regards to this? Okay, since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burruss, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta season premiere. So the numbers have come out for the season premiere of Atlanta, and it's actually good numbers. However, our friends over at lovebscott.com report to us, and if you were here with me during our Beverly Hills recap, I told you that the approximate numbers, but I told you the demo is what had me concerned. So according to lovebscott.com, shout out to Denver, the season 16 premiere of The Real Housewives of Atlanta failed to make a strong first impression, delivering the lowest rated season premiere in franchise history in the key demographic. Airing on Sunday, the warmly anticipated premiere pulled in 723,000 total viewers and scored a 0.18 rating in the coveted 18 to 49 demo, a sharp decline comparison to past seasons. Shout out to our friends over at TVD. They were the first to report the ratings earlier today, which is what I told you guys today. And it's important to note the demographic, because the demographic is where it's a sweet spot for advertisers. And at the end of the day, yes, Bravo loves their reality shows, but they love their advertisers more. Those are what pay the bills. Those are what keeps the lights on. Okay? All right, so they continue. It says, for a franchise that once dominated Bravo's reality TV lineup, these numbers are signaling a concerning trend, especially as the network attempts to revamp the show following a rocky season 15. As LoveBScott.com first reported, RHOA season 16 brings a major cast shakeup, with Portia Williams returning and Cynthia Bailey rejoining as an enhanced friend of. Enhanced friend of? That's interesting. Meaning, I'm guessing that means she's playing a bigger role. Okay? So, enhanced friend of the show following Kenya Moore's controversial return and abrupt departure. They're joined by newcomers Brittany Eady, Kelly Farrell, and Angela Oakley, alongside the sole returning full-time housewife from last season, Drew Sidora. When fan favorite Kandi Burruss, who had been a mainstay for 14 seasons, officially exited the series, some longtime viewers were left questioning the show's direction. Despite the fresh lineup and Bravo's attempt to reinvigorate the series, the lackluster premiere ratings suggest the audience may still be on the fence about this new era of RHOA. While the premiere numbers are concerning, it's still early in the season. And I have to say, if these numbers are concerning, that is a concern, because when you think about, were interested. They were like, okay, let's see what this is going to be. Let's see if it's going to be interesting. So a lot of people just watched out of curiosity. So some people are going to return. I'm going to return. But there are going to be some people like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm just going to watch Kempire's review. This is what you guys say to me. Social media buzz in future episodes could still turn things around, but Bravo will need to keep audiences engaged if they want RHOA to remain a staple in their reality TV empire. Will season 16 be able to recapture the magic, or are these ratings a sign that RHOA is losing its grip? Only time will tell. So, you guys in the comments. So, as I said to you before, 723,000 live viewers is not bad. They will probably go on in the 3-day totals over 1 million. But when you look at how many, at the ratings over the years when it comes to Real Housewives in general, RHOA was the #1 show. Go look at the numbers. They beat out all of the cities when it comes to ratings, but we're seeing a decline in general with streaming. So a lot more people are no longer have cable. They're no longer watching live television. They're watching streaming. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing them in the 700,000 range. If you look at RHOP's numbers, they range in the 600, 700,000 range. I believe their reunion was like 600 something thousand. That was their highest of this season. But it will be interesting to see what the next few episodes will look like in regards to ratings, because I think a lot of people just initially watched because they were curious. But will they continue to watch? We shall see. I haven't written off Real Housewives of Atlanta because, again, we can't judge something off of one episode. I will let you know what I thought of that one episode, but we shall see what the rest of the season will bring. I do find it interesting, some people's opinions on it. But again, everyone has a right to their opinion. But I'm just sort of like, did we watch the same show? But again, you can watch the same show and have a difference of opinion. But for me, the key thing that stood out to me was the demographic. Because again, I keep telling you, I feel like Bravo's leaning in to the love and hip hop of it all. I was talking about this yesterday because people kind of took my comments out of... I think they misunderstood me when I was talking about Shamia and Portia having a casual meal at the strip club. I never said that RHOA never went to the strip club. Clearly they have. There's proof. It was the fact that for me was the cherry on top of everything else that people have been saying about what they've been seeing and noticing about this new era of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was feeling like that's the direction that they were going in, especially with the women, with the photo shoot, with some of the clips that we've seen. But we shall see. But for me, the series low, not season low, series low in their demographic says to me that they're losing the core audience that used to watch the show. Okay, so that is the update in regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? Let me just close out some of the things that I don't need open. Again, always citing my sources. That was from lovebscott.com and our friends over at TV Deets. All right, hold on. I'm waiting for a delivery, guys, so I might have to step away for a second because they are going to be buzzing me in like 2 seconds, I'm sure. So let me vamp for a second. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy, it's free. Don't forget to subscribe. It is subscribers only live chat. And if you missed it, we were live earlier today for our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recap. So be sure to check that out. There was so much tea that dropped. So much tea that dropped from Keely's IMBD page to Bo's history at Uber and Apple. Just so much tea. And look, we're gonna tell you the good, we're gonna tell you the bad, we're gonna tell you the ugly sometimes. Is what it is. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. And be sure to subscribe to the Kempire Apple Podcast subscription. I am going to work on, if not tonight, definitely by tomorrow, you should have my recap of episode 4. I want to rewatch it because that episode 4 of The White Lotus, ooh. But the Apple Podcast is where we're going to be spilling tea, talking The White Lotus, talking about certain things that I'm not going to talk about anywhere else. So shout out to our Apple subscription baddies. We appreciate you. All right. Unless they dropped my food off already. Hold on. Oh, wait. Yes, they did. Let me see. Okay, they did. Please hold. Okay, can we all hold? Can people vamp for a second? Play some music to yourselves. See, that was quick. I didn't have to go that far. I did not have to go that far. All right. Y'all know I have to prioritize dinner first, right? Y'all know I have to prioritize dinner. Okay. Okay, what are you guys saying? All right. Someone said I lose my appetite in the strip club. You know what? Stop. All right, let's move on to Dawn Robinson. So you may have missed it. It was just a couple of weeks ago, if that, maybe like 3 weeks ago, that EnVogue, who have moved on, member of EnVogue broke up, but two of the members, Terry and Cindy, remained because they own the name and the LLC behind EnVogue. And then they've had a new member, and they've been touring as EnVogue. I've always said that EnVogue is not EnVogue without all of the voices. And I've said that about Escape, and I mean that because I recently saw some video of Escape performing. I was like, yeah, they got to figure it out if they're going to continue to tour as Escape. But EnVogue, for me, they sound great, you know, as a new EnVogue, but there's nothing like the tones of everyone together. So recently, Maxine rejoined the group after falling out. They did a whole Instagram video talking about Maxine returning, Maxine coming in. Hey, that's my part. And I was like, that's fantastic because her tone is so specific. It's not like Kandi's, but it's so distinct that EnVogue needs it. And so Maxine is back in the group. So now there are 4 members. One is a new member, and everyone are the original members. But everyone kept on saying, so all they need now is Dawn Robinson. But Dawn Robinson has fallen out with the group. And it looks like she's fallen on some hard times. She just went on her social media and revealed that she's been living in her car for the last 3 years. So when I first saw that title, I was like, oh my gosh. But when you hear her talk about it, it's not as sad as it sounds. Yeah. Yes, that was the one that was on. Was it R&B Divas? It was R&B Divas that Dawn was on. Dawn Robinson. Okay. Yes, thank you, Doreen. Maxine, Terry, and Cindy reunited for the NBA All-Star Game. So here we've gotten an update from Dawn. So let me play this for you guys.
I said it.
Hold on. Let me refresh.
The past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car.
Wow.
I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh.
I can only imagine what that feels like because you probably, and Dawn was also part of Lucy Pearl with Raphael Sadiq. She probably felt embarrassed coming from EnVogue and all this stuff. And Lucy Pearl, she probably felt embarrassed in regards to talking about it.
If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger, she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. Let me get out of here. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA, and he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys, because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there. And so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. And I felt like he was playing games. And I knew he was playing games. And I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on. I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. Yeah. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem?
Hold on, y'all. It paused for me. Let me bring up the other one. So that was Dawn Robinson talking about how she's been living in her car for almost the last 3 years. So she was talking about how her then manager, he's no longer her manager, told her to come back from Vegas. She was living with her parents in Vegas and then told her to come back to LA. Let me just bring up the other clip. For some reason, that one froze.
You guys, for the past, I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA because it's getting ready to be fire in Vegas. You need to come back. I love LA, so I said, okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. But you have a dog, I have a dog. Do we have? And he's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys. I was like, no, this is unacceptable, because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there, and so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I'm like, dude, I'm the one who has to live here. This is my remote for my phone. You can push play and pause and all that stuff, so that's why I'm holding this. Anyway, and it's way cheaper than the hotel. I told my assistant one day, I have been researching car life. There's a whole community of people that live in their cars, and a whole community of people that live in their RVs, and a whole community of people that live in vans. Van life, car life, RV life. And I loved what I was seeing. I just thought, wow, these people, I can do that. I can do this, I think. And I ended up in my car, and it's been, like I said, 3 years.
Wow. So, and look, at first when I saw the headline, I said to myself, I was like, oh no, what's been going on? But when you listen to her talk about it, and she posted this on her YouTube channel, when you hear her talk about it, and yes, if you watch TikTok or some of these other platforms, there are a lot of people that are creating content about living in their cars. And unfortunately, that is becoming the norm for a lot of people in America. So it's not as if she couldn't go somewhere or live with someone. It's the fact that she was like, no, this is my choice. Funny Child says, the way the economy is, we all about to be living in our cars. God forbid. Lord. But she seems happy. I have to say, based off of the image, like, she looks great. She doesn't look like she's struggling. If anything, she looks more youthful. I mean, she's always looked great, but you would think with the struggles that she's talking about, that she's gone through over the years, that maybe, you know, life would have, exactly, truth is trouble. I rebuke that. Me too, girl. But no, she looks good. She looks happy. Funny Child says, my car is paid off, so I ain't no more rent. I'm glad that you guys can take the positive look on this. So that was Dawn Robinson talking about living in her car for the last 3 years. It seems like it's a choice for her at this point, because she did move back to LA hoping to find a place, but she says she got fascinated with people living in their cars. And I'm telling you, I've seen so many people on TikTok that go live streaming from their cars, and they're living from their cars, and they talk about, these are the things that I do during the winter. Mind you, she's in LA. I think she's still in LA. The weather is far better there than it is in a lot of places. That's why homelessness is what it is in California. The weather is better over there. It's not like here in New York during the winter months where it's freezing outside. So I'm sure they do have those moments, but it's far and few between. Tamara says that she would freeze here in Canada. Yeah, and again, this is part of the reason why you see a lot more of this in places like California. So that was Dawn Robinson, formerly of I hate to say formerly of EnVogue because she's an OG, she's a founding member, but she's not a part of the group anymore, despite the original players reuniting outside of her. And I wonder what her thoughts. I'm sure I haven't gone through her YouTube channel. I'm sure maybe people have asked her, what are her thoughts on the group reuniting the way that they have. Because I didn't see that coming. I'm happy to see that coming because I think that's important to the sound of EnVogue. I think we would all love for them to come together because EnVogue is doing well for themselves. They stay on the road touring, so they seem to be living okay as EnVogue. And I think the fact that Maxine has joined them, that's going to help book those shows and whatnot. I think if Dawn was to return, though, that would be huge. All of them could sing in EnVogue, but Dawn's voice was an important one. Yeah. All right. Mr. Mellon Imagine says, Kemp, can you buy me some Starbucks? Why? Why are you shopping at Starbucks? Shame him in the chat. I'm kidding. Some people, that's their only option for coffee. It's okay. All right. So let's move on because I do have another Wendy Williams update. So yesterday we talked about Wendy Williams and her interview on The Breakfast Club. All right. And she talked about scoring a 10 out of 10 on the psych exam. She also was on there with her health advocate, Gina, who was talking about the steps that they've been taking in order to end this guardianship. So it was a plot and a plan for them to get Wendy out of the living facility, to go to a hospital so that they could get that test done. And they did. Okay? So now Wendy Williams' guardian is blasting some of these statements that are coming out and calling them inaccurate. Wendy Williams and her guardian aren't on the same page about her assisted living, quote, prison. Sabrina Morrissey's lawyer hit back at the former daytime talk show host's recent claims in a letter to TMZ, calling them, quote, untrue, inaccurate, incomplete, or misleading. The attorney denied Williams' allegation that she isn't allowed visitors in the New York City facility. But if you recall, on The Breakfast Club, Lauren talked about going to the facility and actually being fearful because of the people that came down and denied that Wendy was even there. This is before Wendy did the interviews with TMZ and things like that. It was before any of that, so there was no footage of her in the window. But they denied that Wendy was even there. They continue. They said that Morrissey's legal rep claimed that Williams can call and see her family members whenever she wants, noting the 60-year-old's 2 recent trips to Florida. The daytime Emmy nominee notably traveled for her son Kevin Hunter Jr.'s college graduation in December of 2024, and her dad's birthday 2 months later. However, sources told the outlet that the February trip had been denied by a judge, but granted after the Saving Wendy documentary premiered. I wonder why it was denied by a judge. Why would you deny her an opportunity to go see her family? Additionally, the lawyer highlighted all the facility has to offer, including excellent medical care, a spa, a workout room, excellent food, a dining room, and outside terraces. It should also be noted that this is costing Wendy Williams in the upwards of like $50,000 a month. No wonder people are concerned that this guardianship is draining her pockets. She's also the guardian suing Lifetime and A&E. So that's illegal. And the guardian is getting paid to represent Wendy as the guardian. So this is money being spent everywhere. Williams, however, called into the Good Day New York viewers Tuesday that she has to be, quote, be permitted to use these perks from her 5th floor memory unit. Because on that memory unit of her floor, you need a special key in order to go to those other floors. There was a rumor, not a rumor, well, I guess a rumor, because we don't know for a fact. They claimed that Wendy was not in the memory unit originally. She was in another facility in this facility. And apparently she allegedly may have gotten drunk at the, I guess, the restaurant they have on the roof of this facility. And that's why they moved her to the memory unit. That was a story that was out there. Okay. In terms of how much it costs, it has to be approved by my guardian person, she added. My money is like in the air, Wendy said. Williams is set to appear on The View Friday to speak about her situation, as she did on The Breakfast Club in January and just yesterday. The former broadcaster has reportedly signed paperwork to end her guardianship, which began in 2022, and Morris's lawyer claimed she did the same last year. This request was reportedly denied at the time. Well, now there are a lot more eyes on the situation. The attorney also alleged that Morrissey received one payment of less than $30,000 for services rendered and, quote, has worked without pay since 2022. Really? Really? Williams' rep has yet to respond to Page Six's request for comment. So the Guardian is now claiming that she's only been paid $30,000 and hasn't been paid. She's worked without pay since 2022. Really? But you're still spending Wendy's money suing A&E. And probably also fighting Kelvin Hunter. The Wendy Show alum made headlines Monday for begging paparazzi for assistance with a note reading, "Help, Wendy," that she dropped from her window. We've since found out more details about that. This trip to the hospital was planned. It had nothing to do with any sort of note. After police performed a wellness check, she was taken by ambulance to Lenox Hill Hospital and received a cognitive test. Williams claimed Tuesday that she passed with flying colors. She was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia in early of 2024, with Morrissey's rep pointing out that a judge declared Wendy Williams permanently incapacitated last year. However, Williams has continued to insist she is not cognitively impaired. Here's the thing with that. Based off of the amount of times that we've seen Wendy Williams interviewed, if she really had frontotemporal dementia and she was diagnosed 2 years ago, you would see a decline. We haven't seen a decline. Is it the same Wendy Williams? No, but it's not frontotemporal dementia. The same diagnosis that Bruce Willis has, and we haven't even seen Bruce Willis. So I don't know. From what we've heard, there has been a steady decline with Bruce Willis. That makes me so sad to even say that, but that's what we've heard in regards to Bruce Willis. Okay. So TMZ is now reporting Wendy Williams gets emotional thinking about a recent threat from the judge in her guardianship, crying at the thought of being moved to a more restrictive assisted living facility than the one she describes as a luxury prison. The former daytime talk show host joined TMZ Live Wednesday, and they asked her about the judge being pissed at her for grousing to the media about her guardianship and threatening to place even more restrictions on her. Wendy talked to us for nearly 20 minutes from her room at the Mount Sinai West Hospital in New York City, where she's about to be released and sent back to the residential center called Coterie, a place she hates with a passion. In our conversation, Wendy expressed concerns about the judge's threat. As she puts it, things are already bad on the 5th floor memory unit where she lives, and the idea of something more restrictive is pretty scary. Wendy's guardian claims things at Coterie are great, that Wendy can come and go as she pleases. That's not true. And her family can visit her at the drop of a hat. The family has said that's not true. But Wendy says that that's bogus and calls her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, a liar, telling us what her life has really like inside a facility. The points of view are polar opposites. Wendy Williams also has shared her thoughts on the judge, Lisa Skokoloff, showing contempt for Wendy advocating for herself in the media. There's a lot Wendy wants to say, but she's limited to the PG version here. You can see the full interview with Wendy on TMZ Live. So there's a lot going on when it comes to this whole Wendy Williams situation. We're going to continue to follow this story and see. I think the fact that we're talking about it, the fact that Wendy is speaking to so many different media outlets, she spoke to Don Lemon, spoke to TMZ Live, The Breakfast Club, all of that is bringing a lot of heat on the court and on Sabrina Morrissey. I don't believe Sabrina Morrissey has not been paid since 2022. I don't believe that at all. At all. We're supposed to believe you're doing all of this for the love of it. Girl. All right. Q&A time. Questions, comments, let me know. So many people in the Hollywood have issues, and does this happen to all of them? No, it doesn't. This probably was a concerted effort from multiple people that wanted to get control of her money. We also have to remember, like, I don't want us to pretend like Wendy didn't have a sobriety issue, that she didn't have a problem with alcohol. We saw that on the Where is Wendy Williams documentary. So I think that, along with people that were around her that were like, oh, let me get a little bit of that, is what led to this. Jacqueline says they never talk about Wells Fargo. Who never talks about Wells Fargo? In regards to the media or the court? I mean, this was all initiated by Wells Fargo, the guardianship. Veronique says, why do you not drink? I just never had an inkling for it. I never did. And I say jokingly, I said I probably was like a lush in a past life. So in this life, I was like, yeah, I'm good on alcohol. When I was in my 20s, I would have a drink here or there. I never was drunk. I used to just do it casual, like, oh, I'll have a sip of something. But now I just don't do it because I was like, what's the point? I don't want to do it. I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm not trying to make people feel comfortable by me drinking. And then I learned what it does to your brain. No judgments to people that drink. I learned what it does to your brain, but I also learned what it does to you spiritually. So I was like, okay, I'm good. So there's a reason I came back and I don't drink in this lifetime. But good question. Foxy doesn't drink either. Okay, other questions. Did I miss any of your questions? I apologize. If I did, okay, wait. Nikki says, how's the new soundbite coming along? Nikki. I haven't even set it up yet, but I will have it set up before the next Married to Medicine recap, okay? And thank you for those that donated. And no thank you to those that donated. Kimberly, the other day I thought about coming on here and doing like some tarot cards. I just was like, I need a break. I'm always live. I'm always doing something. So I was like, let me just take a break. But I will. If you follow me on TikTok, I've done not tarot readings, pulling tarot cards. I'm not a professional. I've done that. See, Kimberly says, I like when you do a collective reading. Kimberly, you've been around a minute. Else Lincoln says, my husband is 58 and I grew up in the hood and has never had a sip of liquor. Me on the other hand. Me on the other hand. I don't judge people that drink. I think people think because I don't drink that I judge them. I feel like I'm judged more because I don't drink. Mr. Mellon Magic says, do you think the sweet tea will be on the show next year? I'm like 50-50 on that. Because if she isn't, what direction will they be going in? I do think they need to do some sort of shake-up with Married to Medicine. Queen D says, when are you going to do an Atlanta show again? And can we get a show to discuss astrology more? I figured out all my signs and want your take. Oh, okay, Queen D. I think the next time we do a dating live, I'm thinking maybe Friday. I haven't decided. I'm having commitment issues because I'm like, it's my Friday. Whoop it up. Not whoop it up. Okay. Have you been following the alleged Lisa Barlow? Doreen, I haven't been following it, but I did see someone brought it up during our recap earlier. I don't care. Like, figure it out at this point. Tally says, love you, Kempire. What's for dinner? Cooking red pea soup. Tally, I'm coming to your house for some red pea soup. I actually just got jerk chicken. That's what I ordered. I ordered jerk chicken. I didn't feel like cooking. Patricia asked, what's for dinner? I'm going to have jerk chicken with some rice and peas. But I'm going to meditate and then I'm going to eat. I am eating some Greek yogurt right now. Right, Virgilian? Non-drinkers are judged more. Do you think Wendy will ever be free? I'm hopeful. Based off of the recent events and the amount of tension on them, Um, I'm definitely hopeful. I thought Kempire was plant-based. Who told you that? I wish I could be, because I really don't love meat like that. But for me right now, I have to transition into that. Because I need to make sure I'm getting enough protein. Because I love a carb. I'm doing pork chops, rice, and salad. That sounds yummy. I don't eat a lot of pork, but the body treats alcohol as a toxin. It's not good for any of us. I'm not trying to judge people, but yeah. Eating a dainty wrap. What happened to Dawn? Brandy, we just talked about. We played some audio from Dawn, but you can rewind back, or you can watch it on her YouTube channel. Dawn Robinson from EnVogue talks about living in her car for the last 3 years, but it's not necessarily a bad thing in her eyes. She's just seen a lot of people talk about doing that. She was having problems with housing, and then she's like, I see so many people talk about living in their car, and that's what she's been doing. If I had a personal chef, I would have exactly. If I had a personal chef, I would definitely be plant-based. Because cook it up, make it taste like chicken. I don't have a video game that's my favorite. Mind you, I do have a Switch that I never use. Dream holiday destination. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Africa. I don't care where. I want to go to Africa. I mean, I care where. Look, I care where. But Africa. Probably South Africa first. I would love to go to Kenya. There's a tour that I saw that I would love to do that goes to Kenya. Mia says Dawn has been on and off in the car for 30 years. I heard Ghana's nice too. I can't picture Kemp playing on a Switch. Me either, Johnny. That's why I don't. I have one, but in my head when I got it, I was like, oh, I never feel like, I'm like, when do people have the time? Ooh, Senegal. So beautiful and educational. I'm still on a countdown to my Australia trip. Oh, man, I want to go. My favorite, hey, Dr. Payne. My favorite Jamaican food dish, stew peas. Go to Nigeria and party with Simon's family. I'm 60-something percent. Am I 60-something percent Nigerian? Hold on. No, I'm not. I'm not 60%. I am... Because Portia swears she Nigerian now. I hate her ignorance. Sometimes I'm just like, Portia, shut up. I really hate her ignorance sometimes. Because now she swears that she's Nigerian. I mean, you are, but you get what I'm saying. Like, she's got family over there right now. Let me see something. I'll tell you guys right now how much percentage of Nigerian I am. Please and hold. Let me see. I haven't even been in this in so long. I don't remember how this works. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm sub-Saharan African, 64.8%. Okay? I am 20% European, shut up. But I'm 13.9% East Asian. Jamaican, come on now. And I'm 1% Ashkenazi Jew. That's on my mother's side. So wait, so does it make me Jewish? Nubian, you missed a lot. We covered Wendy Williams. We talked about Dawn Robinson from EnVogue. We talked about the RHOA rating. So now we're answering questions. I did 23andMe a long time ago, but they keep updating it. Wait, let me see how many. Damn, Portia's more Nigerian than me, y'all. I'm only 26.8%, but my peoples are the Igbo people. My peoples. I'm 24%. 25% Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean. Say that 2 times fast. Look. Congolese. Okay. Not Portia's more African than me. Well, I'm not. She's not. Well, I guess she might be more African than me. But she's more Nigerian than me. Okay, but, I mean, this is a slave trade. Anyways. Why you so light then no, what? I don't understand you. Many Jamaicans' African heritage comes from Ghana. Yeah, that's why you can go, if you have the Jamaican passport, you can go to Ghana with no visa. That's why I need to get my Jamaican passport. Kimberly says, what's the European? Y'all know what the European is? Northwestern European, British and Irish, Scandinavian, French and German, broadly Northwestern European, Southern European a little bit, Spanish and Portuguese 4%. That's also where I got my Ashkenazi, Jewish. And then my Chinese, my East Asian is Chinese, and Korean. Well, like a 0.%, not a lot. Look, not a lot. And then it goes into the African diaspora, the Caribbean, Saint Elizabeth. That's where a lot of my family. That's where a lot of the family's from. Jamaki, I just talked about my Chinese, which I find to be interesting because my father's mother. Well, no, she was half Chinese and half black. But if you saw her, she looks more Chinese than anything. You know what, Joe? Thank you for the super chat. We missed you, Joe, and all your tomfoolery in the chat. He says I'm 5% Cuban through other means. Joe, what is your background? Jamaica, you're from St. Elizabeth? My parents weren't born in St. Elizabeth, but a lot of my family, the roots, are in St. Elizabeth. So I was like, they're correct, because I was like, oh. Filipino. Okay. How about say, you don't look Cuban. Yeah, La Heather says Jamaica has a rich heritage of Chinese and Irish. Are kin to Kathy Hilton? You mean she's kin to me? Right. She probably also did this test and probably saw it like she had like 2% and she swears. Jennifer says, I met Dawn 23 years ago. She was living in Marina Del Rey. That's set. Is Marina Del Rey not great? Yeah, so my first Chinese Jamaican speaking language, I was dead. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Chinese Jamaicans and Indians. I'm surprised I didn't see any Indian in my situation. Arjun says, Kempire, are you tall? I'm 5'10". Some people say that's tall. Some people say it's not. It's above average. Lots of Chinese in Saint Betts. Kemp, have you ever done African ancestry? I wanted to do African ancestry. I just haven't done it yet. Sean Paul is Chinese Jamaican. Is he? Is he Chinese Jamaican? I thought he had Brazilian too. He probably does have Chinese too, though. Hold on. Everyone calls me Miss. Yeah, I mean, that's common, Rita. Rita says my family has a very similar background from Jamaica. Everyone calls me Miss Chin in Jamaica. Yeah, that's very. And Jamaicans don't, in America, certain terms that Jamaicans use, if you use them here in America, you'd be canceled. But yeah, that everyone used to call my grandmother Miss Chin because she looks Chinese. Well, she looked Chinese. She's passed away. Red Juice says, can you speak Patois? Every once in a while on channel I do. I have a Jamaican Asian aunt. See? It's very common in Jamaica. So when we saw Black Cake, I was like, that's like my grandmother's story. Not literally, but just the archetype of a Black and Chinese mixed girl growing up in Jamaica. That's why I loved it. I mean, it was done beautifully. I'm so surprised that they canceled it. Thank you, Bernice. Bernice asked a question at the live show. She was like, are you going to bring back the New York City show? See, everybody showed up. Bernice calling me out on stage. And yes, Bernice, we're working on a new date, so stay tuned. And yes, we will have a live stream for you guys. The live stream showed out. I mean, we had more people on the live stream than we had in the. I mean, we couldn't fit that many people in the audience, but we had a lot of people that watched the live stream. I did get the video footage of the live stream, and I will be dropping that for members first. But if you are an Apple subscriber, the audio will be released there this week. So stay tuned. Brandy, are you becoming an attorney, or are you already an attorney? Thank you, Bernice. I'm trying to have them give us a longer show. I feel like my New York shows always go so quickly. Ooh, Garcelle's production company should bring Black Cake back. That would be amazing. The people behind it, though, included Oprah. Oprah was one of the producers behind that. I'm surprised it got canceled. It was such a good show. Hey, Candace. Candace, miss y'all in the live chat. Going into the office sucks. Candace. Thank you so much, Candace. All right, y'all. 2 more questions, and then I'm getting out of here because I need to go meditate and then have dinner. Wow, I identify with Black Cake because my grandmother was from Belize and her grandfather was Chinese and from Jamaica. See? It was such a good show. Such a good show. Oh, really? No, Congrats, Bernice. I was about to ask, where can I watch Black Cake? On Hulu. You can still watch it. You just won't get another season. Arjun says, Kempire, do you attend fashion shows? Not really. I went to the Fashion Bomb Daily because they invited me to their fashion show for Fashion Week. So I've been to theirs, which was great because it was like up-and-coming Black designers. I got jerk chicken. Your future billionaire hubby is going to be your future billionaire hubby is going to be a Virgo. Okay, bye. I'm okay with that. The billions will soften the blow. I hear Morgan's performing in New York. Oh God, said no one. Are you coming to Carnival in Jamaica this year? No. No. And it's not because it's Jamaica. It's just because it's a lot of people. You should buy some tickets, Bernice, and report back. Okay. Nene Lee's got a new show. I've seen it was just uploaded. No More of Me and My Homegirl. She's got a new show, CV? Me and My Homegirl, I don't see lasting, to be honest with you. I think Nene makes poor choices when it comes to her business stuff. Sometimes I wish I could be like, Nene, this is what you should do. Just do this and you'll be fine. But she ain't gonna listen to me. I would like to go to Carnival in Brazil. Maybe. I mean, I say that, but then I'm like, oh my God, all these people. But I do want to go to Brazil. Arjun says, Kempire, can we get a review of your India trip, please? I want to hear your experience. Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts. I went twice. I loved India. I want to go back to India. My visa expires this year. I had a 10-year visa. I need to reapply. Joe says, Nene on Traders would be wild. Oh my God, that'd be so fun. As long as she sticks around. Okay, you should definitely do Thailand. I got my elective surgery done in India and was recovering in Phuket. Oh, and finished shopping in Bangkok. I heard shopping in Bangkok is fantastic. I am going to Thailand. I'm hoping for this year. Iris says, really Brazil and not home? I'm sad. No, I mean, I want to go to Brazil, not necessarily for Carnival. I've been to Jamaica. I've never been to Brazil. Elijah says, have you seen Nene Leakes is doing her own show on YouTube and it looks professional and all. Oh, so she's, someone just mentioned that, Elijah. So she's launched a new show. It feels like she's just grabbing at straws at this point. Did something happen with her in Me and My Homegirl show? Is that what's happening? Or is she doing both? She could do both, but Nene needs the right direction. If we were friends, I would help her, but I'm not, so. Is there anyone I want to see in concert this year? I mean, I'd like to see Beyonce, but I'm not going to these stadiums and dealing with all that crap. No. I'd like to see her, but I'm not going to deal with all that crap. Yeah, who got Cowboy Carter tickets? Not me. All right, y'all. Shout out to our mods. Shout out to all of you. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for the likes. Can we get to 500 likes? I'm sure we can. Shout out to the replay crew. Be sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions. Once I'm done meditating, I'll add the timestamps. But I appreciate you guys being here. Would like to see Kempire release a scissoring single. Scissoring! I should. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for liking the video already, and thank you for sharing. Again, more information on the podcast is in the live chat pinned, but just go to the Kempire podcast on Apple, and you can see our new subscription, Club Kempire. And, of course, my skincare routine, Butter, is available for 10% off in the description. Everyone have a fantastic day, and for those watching the replay, be sure to let me know your thoughts on all the stories we covered tonight. All right, y'all. See, the sun is setting. Look, the sun is setting. Bye, y'all.